Part 2 of the Nuwekloof Pass deals with the lower half of the descent. If you intend driving this pass, it's important to watch Part 1 first, which contains the Google Earth orientation clips as well as other important historical and tourist information. The geology inside the kloof is mesmerizing, and you'll be hard-pressed to pick a favorite view as these come thick and fast throughout the traverse. Arguably the most interesting of these is an overhanging vertical cliff called Raaskrans, which translates into noisy cliff. This is a 40-meter high vertical cliff which completely overshadows the road on the right-hand side immediately after one of the river crossings. Pull over as far off the road as you can and take a walk around and get some great photos to take home. This is an unforgettable spot. The dominant rock type here is Cape Fold Mountain with some amazing sandstone formations. For the vast majority of the year, the many drifts will either be dry or have a small amount of water in them, requiring only a minor alteration in speed. But from time to time the kloof gets enough rain to turn the little river into a raging torrent. Never take chances, and if the first two crossings look dubious, rather turn around or wait a few hours for water levels to subside, as the crossings get ever deeper the further down the pass that you drive. Most drivers enjoy charging into a river crossing to see how big a splash they can create. Whilst this might seem like fun, it's actually not very clever. Firstly, you're assuming that there are no hidden objects under the water surface, and secondly, it takes only a few drops of water to get into your vehicle's electronics to render it useless. That will more than likely equate into an expensive recovery and a spoilt holiday. Always drive through water at a slow speed. It's only when there's deep mud that some momentum is required, and in all other cases, rather cross slowly. The Nuwekloof is today a mega reserve and World Heritage Site, and whilst its plant and animal life and its geology are widely studied, it's the history of the people, known simply as Kloovenaars, that's worth exploring too. These are the people who farmed the kloof's habitable areas for generations and whose numbers have radically shrunk over the years. One story worth mentioning is that of the 1916 flood, when a huge mass of water passed through the Kleinpoort Gorge. 4 members of the Campbell family died in this tragedy. A memorial has been erected on the northern side of the road, much further down the kloof, which is a recommended point of interest. Rock art and artifacts are found in the area, making the kloof one of the richest archaeological heritage areas in southern Africa and the world. European settlement commenced in the mid to late 18th century. As progress is made into the south, the kloof gets a little wider near the southern end, where it opens up into the wide valley of the western Kloof via a sharp 90-degree left-hand bend. This bend marks the southern end of the pass at an altitude of 866 meters. Here the almost desert-like topography is quite different to the upper areas traversed during your approach. You now have a long and fairly flat but winding traverse into the east, where you'll pass places like Uitkyk, Nuwekloof, Markenart Caves, Spearcoat Kloof, Vero's Restaurant, and more before you arrive at the next pass, which is Studerspoort. This is a distance of about 35 kilometers.